Welcome back to Casey Cares, Kansas City's nonprofit voice. I am Bobby Keys.
And I'm Ruth Bombigas. We're down at our home away from home at the Plaza Library where we love it. It's great. And our next guest will be able to give us commentary and official artistic input on all the art here because we are honored to have with us Tony Jones with Kansas City Art Institute. And we haven't had you on for a while, so I'm so excited to have you back.
Well, a lot has been happening since
you
we
have
met
all
last.
kinds of things going on. You guys are, everything is up to date in Kansas City, but more with what you all have going on. I didn't make you sing the song. We'll do that another time.
I got to hear about this. I want to.
So bring us a little up to speed for those listeners who may have just joined us with Casey Cares. Give us a good elevator speech of what KCAI is.
Well, I'm not going to sing, but I can tell you that my favorite music is the song of the concrete mixer. My favorite bird is the construction crane.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because you have lots of those residing at KCAI.
Well, you can hear them and see them at work as we speak on Warwick Avenue. We have a massive curb appeal building, a new 250-bed student dorm being built on site. It's absolutely huge. Wow. And I think if my day count is correct, we are 36 days from opening.
So
awesome.
After the first of the year, it is humming and you'll have students there.
All the students in the existing dorm will be asked to pick up their mattress and walk across to the new dorm. It's literally a case of pick up thy bed and walk.
Oh, I love it.
They're probably not too disappointed about that.
They've been peeking through the windows. They want to know which room is theirs. They're pretty excited. But in addition, right next to the Nelson Atkins on Oak Street, we're building our new Center for Art History, the Paul and Linda de Bruce Hall Center for Art History and Liberal Arts. Under construction right now, will be finished by April the 30th.
Now I know why he likes the song of the crane and the sound of the mixer.
Progress.
I think there is probably a misperception. Why would the Art Institute have a dorm? It seems like people think it's just that place people go to study, and then I don't know where they think they went, but...
Oh, no, we were about 700 students, and about 250 of those live in the new dorm, which also has the new Wiley Dining Hall, and right next to the front gates, so that it's open to the public, the new Cafe Nerman.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I love it.
We might have to go do a show there. That would be
I love this.
fun.
You know what? Yeah.
Let's do that.
That'd be
we'll
wonderful.
do that. So
Let's
we'll
do
get
a field trip. Come up and visit.
Oh, we would love that.
We should have a whole show dedicated to just the arts. And
only if Tony will come back.
Exactly.
We're ready. I'll be there at the front gates waiting for you.
And maybe some of the students from Kansas City Art Institute.
Students
Absolutely.
and graduates. So we have this wonderful educational art institution there. Let's talk about the diversity of what you offer.
It's an incredible range. I mean, the students who come in their first year have come from high schools, and we know that all across America, arts education is being defunded in high schools. So if they've been really lucky, they've been in a great school in Missouri or Kansas, our primary areas, and those students have had the experience of working in an art room. But then they come to us, and the difference is a high school art room is not a professional art studio. So when they walk in through the doors of our foundations building, which are painted yellow, the yellow brick doors, they walk into a professional opportunity and they start seeing different things. They've probably never worked in high school. They've never worked in bronze foundries, but we have a bronze foundry. We pour hot bronze. They've never welded. They don't work on the kind of CGI, high-end animation computers that we work with. And suddenly they're given these incredible opportunities. And we know 85% of all students in all American art schools that enter thinking they're going to be a painter, a graphic designer. At the end of that first year, they've decided to do something else, and then they move through the program. They find different ways of being highly creative, and they find a way to create a profession for themselves for the rest of their lives. And we are doing more and more to help them in that. But we have a new program with UMKC at the Block School of Business and the Renier Institute for Entrepreneurship. We're teaching entrepreneurship in art and design.
Yes.
How do you live after you leave, you know? I mean, an art school is like a greenhouse, you know? It's hot and it's busy and there's tons of stuff going on. But at the end of it, you walk through the doors into a cold world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how can we do a better job for our students in saying there is life after art school? You can have an incredible career, but you need to know how to live.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm sorry. It just I've seen the Kansas City creative community just kind of blossom over the years, and you see that is a huge missing. When it comes to the business world, the freelancers, because that's my world. I'm a videographer, designer, and if I would have known the things that I know now about business, if I'd have known them when I was younger,
have hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you have no idea, especially how to work with clients, how to manage clients, how to run your books, everything about it, and the fact that you can make money as a creative. That's amazing to me that you actually teach that, and that you're actually partnering with UMKC. Do you see more and more students coming from high school or coming from and I guess you'd say an area of interest that they have, they find it more acceptable. It seems like, you don't want to go in the creative world, you're not going to make any money or this. But it seems like, they're kind of starting to, even though it's defunded, there are some schools that are starting to push it more and offer a different type of curriculum. Is that true, or am I missing it?
No, you're right. That's there, but it's not there enough.
Yeah.
And the reality is that they may have this romanticized idea of what being in the creative industries is like. The reality of it is as exciting, but utterly different. Mm. So we try to prepare them for that so that, they retain their integrity, they retain their ideals. They're highly creative people, but they also know how to work. They need to work alone, and they need to be able to work with clusters of people and collaboration, because that prepares them better for the real world.
Yeah.
What I think is cool is that it's the Block School of Management. Mm-hmm. And of course, the Block family has been so engaged in the arts and business. So it's an interesting mix and meld there, which I think in years past, people went, business, arts, can't do that. So how cool that you're having that for your students.
I think it is cool, and I think the students think it's cool. And I don't see any division. When we talk to students about what kind of creative industry, we don't talk to them about specifically going into a creative industry. We say that all of them are open to you. And the membranes between them are permeable. You can move around. You can decide what you want to do. And there are incredible opportunities. American business, American manufacture, American professions, no matter what it is, you talk to the CEOs and you ask them, what do you want most of all? And they said creativity. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't find people who are highly creative that come into your company, whether it's a production company or whether it's a process company, whether, no matter what it is, if you don't have really creative people, what the CEOs of those companies are saying nationwide is that if we don't have those people, we can't secure the market we have, we can't expand that market, and we can't create markets that we haven't even thought of. So the role that our creative students, when they leave, they're game changers. They're people who bring just a different way of thinking. So we say, think outside the box. Our students would say, what box?
Nice.
I love that. I love that. You've got another little new thing in your pocket. You have a new major.
We do. Again, it's cooperative. And I think this is the pattern that's moving forward. We have a wonderful relationship with UMKC, with the Block School, with Renier, with Molly Agrawal, who is the new chancellor. All of this is really terrific. So we start looking at programs. What do students want? What are the most relative themes of education? The thing that came out at the top in terms of a new program is industrial and product design. Mm. So we're launching a new product design, but it's a very interesting mixture. We will teach the creative, highly focused, blue sky thinking at the college. But the reality of being a product designer is you have to work with manufacturers and with industry. So you need to have entrepreneurship. So that's what the Block and the Renier bring. But also you need to know, how's something made? How was this microphone made? How were these headphones? Yeah. All of these things. So we're partnering with the School of Engineering at UMKC, and they'll teach material sciences, history of technology. All of this is creating an utterly new kind of program, and the response has been immediate. The moment that we sent out posters saying we were going to introduce this, people started phoning up saying, can I register for this semester? And we said, no, it's a year's wait. Oh, they said, I didn't see that part.
Wow. So you have 700 students in a given year.
Well,
roughly.
Big moves. So go back to what's happening. What are the big trends? What do students want? 53% of our student body are in two majors, illustration and animation. These are the booming areas where students who are really smart, who can draw, who can think, who can write, who can articulate ideas, and then bring them to life. So you have writing, which is words on a page, illustration, the words come to life and become a drawing, and then the drawing starts to move, and that's animation. And then it does it three-dimensionally, so that becomes claymation or stop action. Students who are working in these areas are desperately sought, particularly by the entertainment industry, which has an insatiable appetite for highly creative people.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, because it kind of confirms maybe that this belief. So I used to run an agency, and I worked with animators and motionographers, and I was a videographer. So eventually, what I found is that those people that were myopic in their world, like they didn't go out, they didn't learn how things were built. Like those animators, they didn't care about anything else besides what was right there, right? It seems like that in the industry, it's being a generalist in a sense is kind of a better route to go, or just understanding, or maybe just understanding more of everything within the creative process and the workflow, right?
That's exactly correct. And the ability to be able to not only be a solo person in your own right, thinking up your ideas, but being able to communicate. A couple of years ago, I spent a day at Pixar in California, which was fantastic, an absolutely amazing experience. And I asked their CEO, this must be a great place to work. Oh, they said it's a fun factory. It's just absolutely fabulous. We have a wonderful time. It's very entertaining. I said, so what do you look for? If you had a student who's a really good student from KCAI who applies, and I know you've got some working here, so what do you look for? And without missing a beat, he said drawing and sociability. I said, well, explain to me what do you mean? And he said, well, drawing is still the fastest way that one human can communicate a visual idea to another person, and it does not involve a keyboard or a mouse. It's just a pencil and a piece of paper. And it shows very quickly, this is what's going to happen here. It's Toy Story, or this is what happens to Buzz Lightyear. You do this very, very quickly, and you can communicate. So you have to be able to draw very quickly. So I got it, I understand that. What about sociability? He said, that's when you don't mind when someone reaches over your shoulder and draws on your drawing.
Yeah.
Said, no.
For a creative, that's a huge.
But you play well with others.
You have to play well with others. And this was a key point, is that you have to work across those boundaries. There is no box. So if you write, you must be able to draw and then be able to animate. And what's happening in our studios is that we see not only computer-driven animation, or graphics, CGI, you see all that, but a return to hand-drawn animation. So when Walt Disney was a student with us all those years and years ago, that's what he did. There has been a return to handcrafted animation in which drawing is the key, and it gives a quality to what you see on the screen. It's not Shrek. It doesn't have that gorgeous, luscious surface that you get only from computer. Instead, it's a bit rough, and it's a bit rugged, and it's hand-drawn. It's bespoke animation, and that has come back. So it's an evolving way of thinking about how highly creative people can begin to express those ideas using all the technology, from a pencil to a very expensive CGI-driven computer.
How do you help your students, once they've had this robust education, get a job?
Well, we try to develop a kind of incubator. Give them that training, give them that opportunity, get them really excited and interested. We're now offering entrepreneurship, for example, as an actual formal minor. After 2 years of working with UMKC, we've decided, it is immediately swamped. We've had to offer new sections of this. Students, and I don't leave out their parents either. parents are very, very excited about the idea that we're giving business skills.
I'll bet they are.
But we want them to go out into a community in KC, and we want them to stay. Kansas City is a great place. There is a powerful creative community here. There's a lot of interesting stuff being done in tech and digi. We need a big post-production facility here. Those people are going to go out, we hope, better prepared. We want the city to help, and I've had a meeting with the new mayor. Everybody wants to keep the really best and smartest students to stay here in KC, and be part of our economy and move our creative economy forward. So the more that we can do to help students in incubators, bridges, finding a way to be able to get past that first couple of very cold years when you leave, the art school. Well, what we have libraries full of books about the arts. We have technicians. We have people who are specialists in materials. We have a coffee shop. All those things.
Yay!
So it's an interesting thing. I talked to some alumni, and I said, well, what was it like? And they said, well, we graduated, 4 or 5 years ago. It was really difficult, But the art school allows us to come back. And we can take courses, and we can use the facilities, and we can access our professors and technicians. We think of KCAI as a life raft.
That's great. There's so much more to KCAI. You can go to their website at www.kcai.edu. Tony, it's been a pleasure as always. Come
Wonderful
back.
to see. Absolutely. And you come to us too.
Oh, you got it.